Caitlin Clark is a dog in the best possible way. And her play is not only dictating, but demanding that we talk about her play. They're not a middle of the pack team without A'ja Wilson. She is quite literally doing this on her own. And I'm pretty confident that you would hear from fellow Aces players that would tell you the same thing. They've got to step up. Caitlin's impact is going to be far-reaching because she is the facilitator on the team. That's not A'ja's job. But A'ja is what in the league? Maybe second in blocks in the league. For a woman who makes history almost every single time she steps onto the court, and she was still even more exceptional in that game. Instead of us talking about that, and maybe putting the Rookie of the Year competition to bed.
Can a rookie really be the MVP? That's the question that set Elle Duncan off. But here's a challenge for you. Watch Caitlin Clark's highlights, look at her stats, and see how the Fever have improved. Then decide for yourself, is Duncan right, or is she missing something big? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Suppose you're familiar with Caitlin Clark's game now. Wait a second. Beyond what is immediately apparent, there is more to this rookie's tale. Can we really believe that these figures are only scratching the surface? Here we will dissect it. Clark has been raking up the points since the break. The stats are as follows: 24 points, 9 assists, and 5.8 rebounds every game. But the figures aren't the only thing to consider. She's acquiring them in this way. The level of shooting by Clark has skyrocketed. 62.2% of her shots are falling inside the arc, and her percentage from beyond the arc is 40.7%. That is not merely good, it is efficient on an elite level. The intriguing part, though, begins at this point. Clark is improving the lives of those around her, not just herself. She has 4 starters who consistently put up double-digit averages. Listen up, folks. That's no accident. That is the impact of Caitlin Clark. Recall the previous season? With a final record of 13-27, the Indiana Fever were clearly having trouble. Present day, they find themselves in a comfortable position at 18-16. Why was there a shift? Clark, in a nutshell. See, Clark is more than just a sensational rookie. In the WNBA, she is changing the definition of valuable. She's doing more than just racking up stats. She's boosting her whole squad. Things become more intricate at that point. Individual statistics are no longer the sole determinant in the MVP argument. The focus is on effect. What about Clark's effect? The league is in a state of disarray. Put it in your mind. As a whole, Clark has more points and assists than anybody else in the league. As a rookie, she has already recorded 2 triple-doubles. That is truly remarkable. It is historic. However, the most shocking part is about to come. The way we view basketball is evolving because to Clark's game. She's more than just a scorer and creator. To be precise, she is both. Her own unique flair is evident when she accomplishes it. There may be more to this than what Elle Duncan has indicated. The entire league is in a state of chaos due to an unseen element in the MVP race. What valuable means in the WNBA is being redefined.
A'ja Wilson isn't even the best, most valuable.
Oh my God.
This is not me.
This is completely
This is not me.
Conversation.
Valuable player.
Only reason that there's even just a little bit of light for anybody else in this MVP race is because despite A'ja's efforts, they are still just a middle-of-the-road team. This is not a team MVP award. This is not who's the most valuable player to their respective team. This is who is the best player in the WNBA.
And it's not limited to Clark. You may be asking what the big deal is with this MVP argument. It's not merely a matter of who has the better statistics. It's about 2 camps with opposing views on what a player is really worth. For a moment, let's focus on A'ja Wilson. It's her year, isn't it? The problem is that her Las Vegas Aces squad isn't exactly raking in the dough. Their current loss total is double that of their championship-winning year. A lot of people are confused by that. Now it's Caitlin Clark's turn. That Indiana Fever squad she's on, they're blazing. Much of the criticism is directed on Clark herself. However, her impact on her entire squad is more important than her individual statistics. Things start to get intriguing at this point. The true meaning of most valuable player is the subject of an ongoing discussion. Does it matter if you're the top player on your team? On the other hand, does it depend on who contributes the most to their team? When you look at a most valuable player, it depends on what the value is, said one experienced person. Because of her versatility and ability to contribute in every way, A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Everyone on the roster benefits from Caitlin Clark's efforts, not only herself. To put it simply, that is the central argument. Surely Wilson is putting up outstanding statistics on an individual basis. Clark, though, her entire crew is being transformed by her. The very meaning of MVP is is being questioned as a result of this. Put it in your mind. Clark is doing more than scoring goals. She is also setting up her teammates for success. She has 4 starters who consistently put up double-digit averages. That's the epitome of effective collaboration. It's reaching new heights. Plus, Clark is a newbie at this, so that should be considered. Her recent 6-game average includes 24 points, 9 assists, and 5.8 rebounds. Such statistics are worthy of an MVP, not a rookie. The intriguing part, though, begins at this point. Impact, not statistics, is what matters most in the MVP contest. What about Clark's effect? The league is in a state of disarray. Not only is she doing well, but she is also altering the game's dynamics. Some difficult questions are being prompted by this discourse. Is it fair to award MVP honors to the guy who has the highest statistical performance? On the other hand, shouldn't it belong to the player who boosts his team's performance? This debate is getting heated because the question is not easy to answer. Be honest with me, Clark and Wilson aren't the only ones we're talking about here. The WNBA's trajectory is at stake. Everything revolves on our player values and the standards we hold our superstars to. Would you rather have players who can completely change their teams than those who can just shine on an individual level? This MVP race has just gone in an unexpected direction, so hang tight. Basketball wasn't the only thing that Elle Duncan's tantrum over Caitlin Clark revealed. It also revealed a hidden problem with the sports media. This was such a strong reaction to what seemed like a simple suggestion. You might start to doubt the accuracy of sports announcers after reading this answer. Caitlin Clark's candidacy for Most Valuable Player wasn't the only thing Elle Duncan had an issue with. Pretending as if it were the most ludicrous thing she had ever heard was her strategy. However, why is that? What on earth could cause a trained analyst to become so emotional during a live television broadcast? The point is that Duncan's reaction had more to do with more than merely Clark or the MVP contest. Something far more substantial was exposed: the possible prejudice that lies behind the surface of sports commentary. Every single fan out there has that same issue. This may be leaving you wondering what the big deal is. Well, everyone loses when bias enters sports analysis. Just being fair isn't enough. Being honest with the fans is vital. We rely on these commentators to provide us with accurate information, free from bias and pseudoscience. Put it in your mind. Truthfulness is what you seek when viewing a game or highlights, isn't it? What matters is getting to the bottom of things, not simply hearing someone's preferences-based emotional response. Being objective is crucial in that situation. Being objective when analyzing sports is more than simply a buzzword. It is the foundation of reliable commentary. Without it, all we're getting is people's biased viewpoints and heated arguments. Plus, that isn't the reason any of us watch. The intriguing part, though, begins at this point. The necessity for opinions based on facts was brought to light by Duncan's reaction, which is a larger issue in sports journalism. Having an opinion isn't enough. Valid evidence in the form of statistics, data, and analysis is required. It is not only unfair to the players they are discussing when broadcasters use their own feelings to influence their assessment. As fans, we feel it's unjust. All we can do is hope that these professionals will shed light on things that we haven't thought of yet. What good is it if all they're doing is ranting about their personal biases? A professional expressed it this way: it's an affront to her for someone to even bring up the possibility that Caitlin Clark might be the MVP instead of Asia Wilson. Emotions, not analysis, are speaking there. Furthermore, it is not appropriate for use in serious sports broadcasting. Elle Duncan and Caitlin Clark are no longer the only ones involved. The honesty of sports broadcasts is at stake, and that impacts all of the fans worldwide. What are our options when we seek advice from experts but don't trust their judgment? The worst part is that our perception of the team as a whole is impacted by this type of bias. All of our perceptions of the sport are influenced by it. It would be a shame to miss out on some amazing stories and performances if pundits were to arbitrarily disregard specific players or ideas. Is there a way to fix this? Although it may not be easy, it is simple. Sportscasters should leave their prejudices at the door. Let them think things out and make decisions based on evidence, not emotion. Even if it means letting go of their assumptions, we need them to remain receptive to fresh perspectives. The sports media should take this entire incident as a wake-up message. The standard for sports commentary needs to be raised. Real discoveries, not emotional reactions, should inform our analysis. The public deserves news analysts who will not shy away from facts, even if they run counter to their own opinions. Pay close attention the next time you're engrossed in a sports program or a podcast. Are you listening to analysis and facts or merely personal views? Do the commentators have evidence to support their statements, or are they simply making things up? We, the fans, must demand more.